Hello to all of you Harper Cigar Lounge family members out there. Hope you're doing well. We are ready whenever you are, so come join us. Anyway, a little chilly here in the hotel. We were trying to do a heater, but that didn't really work out very well. But we're doing good over this way here here at the Regards Hotel here in Kimball, Nebraska. It is known to be somewhat haunted, but we'll try to find out some answers today on some of that. But anyway, guys, the cigar we will be smoking today is the Gurkha Ghost Angel, and there's what it looks like, everybody. That's the Gurkha Angel Ghost Tubo Torpedo. It's a 6x52 cigar Maduro, Brazilian Arapaco Maduro, dark and oily wrapper. And the binder is a 98 Dominican Criollo filler, Nicaragua, Dominican Republic. But anyway, guys, there it is. That's what we're smoking today. Taste notes: earth, pepper, cocoa, cinnamon with a natural sweetness. And that's on my notes. It says that's during the finale of the cigar, the sweetness, the natural sweetness. Also, some light hints of barley and caramel. The aromas are leather, anise, which is kind of a black licorice, and pepper. The Gurkha line has been known to many as the Rolls Royce of cigars. Members of the royal family, military leaders, leading government officials, and celebrities have enjoyed Gurkha cigars over many years. Gurkha cigars are some of the most expensive cigars on the market today. So anyway, that's what we're smoking today. And what we're drinking today is the Appalachian Sipping Cream. This is a pumpkin spice latte. We're mixing it with, what this is, it's a moonshine with a liqueur. That's what's mixed with that moonshine. 40 proof. And then we're mixing that with this red line coffee. This is made over in Torrington, Wyoming. Nathan Munt, he's in charge of the company that he has called Redline Coffee. And you can go to Facebook and find this coffee. Many flavors that he has. The flavor we're doing today is Highlander Grog. It's kind of a whiskey flavored coffee. So definitely a darker blend. So anyway, that's what we're drinking today with our sipping cream. So anyway, gonna go ahead and get into some let's see here, hard rock heavy metal birthdays. And I'm gonna go through this kind of quickly, all the stuff I'm doing here because we got a lot to cover about the hotel, and I'll have my guests on here shortly to be with us. And also, I got another guest with us today that I'll announce when we start up, with everyone being with me. But anyway, so these are some belated birthdays. October 22nd, and this is for you, Ed. Bobby Blotzer, drummer of Rat.
There we go.
Born October 22nd, 1958. He is now the age of 65. Bobby, happy belated birthday to you. You're one of my favorite drummers. Love you. Big, huge fan of Rat as well. So anyway, Robert Trujillo, bass player for Metallica. Ex-suicidal tendencies, Black Label Society, Ozzy Osbourne. Born October 23rd, 1964. He's age 59. Julia Legge, bass player and backing vocals for Vixen, all-female hard rock metal band. Born October 23rd, but I could not find the year she was born on the internet, so I'm not sure what age she is, but she was born on October 23rd. So shout out to you as well. And then let's see here. Matthew Jabb, lead guitarist for the Scorpions, born October 25th, 1955, age 68. Chad Smith, drummer for Red Hot Chili Peppers. Chickenfoot, born on October 25th, 1961, he's the age of 62. Alex Webster, bass guitarist for Cannibal Corpse, born on October 25th, 1969, age 54. And then two of my favorite guitarists, Glenn Tipton and KK Downing of Judas Priest, KK's Priest for KK Downing. Glenn Tipton is now the age of 76. He was born on October 25th, 1947. KK Downing was born on October 27th in 1951. He was the age of 72. And Glenn Tipton is 76, if I didn't mention that. And then Kevin Dubrow, lead singer for Quiet Riot. He would have been 68 today. Of course, he passed away at the age of 52 back in 2007 on November 19th. But he would have been 68 years old today. So today is his birthday, his heavenly birthday, I guess I'll say. So anyway, Kevin, rest in peace, brother. Chris Slade, drummer for AC/DC, Ex-Uriah Heep and The Firm, Manfred Mann's Earth Band, David Gilmour, and Gary Moore. Chris Slade was born on October 30th, 1946. He's the age of 77. And last but not least, one of my absolute favorite drummers, Mickey D, the drummer for Scorpions, ex-King Diamond, Motorhead as well. Born on October 31st, so his birthday will be coming up on the 31st. And Chris Slay's will be tomorrow that I mentioned. But October 31st, 1963 is his birthday. He'll be the age of 60. So that's all the birthday shout outs for everyone out there in the metal world. Let me get some real quick heavy metal, hard rock news. Michael Sweet of Striper, also of Sweet and Lynch, Iconic, and Sunbomb, new side project band called Soul Driver that he just started up. Just released a new single called Spinning Wheel, and that will be released on Frontier Records on November 17th this year. So the band that he is now involved with on the side of Striper is, of course, Michael Sweet's lead vocals, Del Vecchio, guitars, bass, keyboards, and backing vocals, and Michelle Sana, drums. And then, of course, I mentioned one of the members of Vixen that just had a birthday. They have a new single out now called Red, so check that out on YouTube. Wasn't what I expected from Vixen. Not the kind of song I expected. I was expecting a little bit of a more harder, edgier kind of song, but it's a more commercial type of hard rock song. But still sounds good. It's got some good riffs and good hooks. So check them out on YouTube. Check that song out called Red. Anthrax frontman Joey Belladonna will this afternoon, be singing the national anthem over at Mile High Stadium. Empower Field at Mile High Stadium, sorry. That's in Denver, Colorado today around 2:25 p.m. During the Broncos versus Kansas City Chiefs game. So Joey Belladonna, the lead singer for Anthrax, will be doing the national anthem today with that game. If you guys are interested, when you see that game, that's who's doing the national anthem. So way to go, Joey. So and then Lynch Mob announcing their farewell tour. The Final Ride, that'll be in support of the new album called Babylon, and that's their 8th studio album that they've released. And so that was released on October 20th of this year. The last album they did was called The Brotherhood, and that was released back in 2017. Lynch Mob was founded in 1989, and Lynch Mob right now is Gabriel Cullen, vocals, George Lynch, of course, guitars, and of course you guys remember George Lynch from Dokken. Jimmy Dionda, drums, Jaron Gulino, bass, and then the band Heart will reunite on New Year's Eve for a concert in Seattle, Washington, at the Climate Pledge Arena. And this is Ann and Nancy Wilson's hometown. They will be a support act to Jason Bonham, of course, the drummer for the son of drummer John Bonham that was with Led Zeppelin. So anyway, there'll be a support to him on the. It's called the. Let's see here. What is his show called? It's The Jason Bonham Led Zeppelin Evening is what that is called that he's doing. Um, and of course, like I said, there'll be a support act to him on that. And tickets are on sale now through Ticketmaster if you're interested. And then next year, Heart will be doing their 50th anniversary tour, and so they're looking at doing that next year. And it sounds like that's a go for what I'm hearing. So definitely got some sad news today. If you know who Steve Riley is, longtime ex drummer for LA Guns and drummer for he started a side project called Riley's LA Guns, and so he's also known for his work with Wasp and Keel. So anyway, he passed away on Tuesday, this last Tuesday on the 24th of October. He was 67 years of age, and Steve had been battling pneumonia several weeks prior. His wife of 40 years, let's see here, his wife Mary Levis, of 40 years, and son Cole were by his side when he did pass away. And some of Steve's best work was with Keel, the Right to Rock album back in 1985, Wasp, The Last Command, which was in 1985, Inside the Electric Circus of Wasp, 1986, Live in the Raw, he was all part of that live album, 1987 from Wasp. And then he went on to LA Guns, and his first album that he was a part of with LA Guns was Cocked and Loaded, 1989. And then he was with LA Guns during the Hollywood Vampires album in 91. And then he was with LA Guns through the 2020s with the album Renegade, if you guys are familiar with that album. But Riley's LA Guns just issued the new single called The Dark Horse, which will appear on their new studio album in 2024. No certain release date yet on that. But anyway, so it's very sad that he's gone. He was definitely another drummer that I really admired and looked up to. So especially when he was with the band Wasp and LA Guns. So anyway, rest in peace, Steve. You'll be missed in the music world. Steve was born on January 22nd, 1956, in Revere, Massachusetts. Just so you guys know where he's from. And the last thing I'm going to do before I have my guests come on, I'm going to do a rundown of the best albums in heavy metal to get you in the Halloween mood. And anyway, hello guys. Sorry if I haven't responded back to you guys. I will start looking at this a little more once I get done through the rest of this bit of information here. But anyway, I'm glad you guys are with us, and God bless you guys. Glad you're here. Hello, Mom, and I'm glad you're here. So anyway, it's actually 20 bands, but one of the bands I had to split into two, so it's actually showing 21 albums, but it's actually 20. Well, actually 21 bands, I should say, but it's actually 20 bands. But anyway, so number 21, Blue Oyster Cult, Agents of Fortune from 1976, and that album was featuring the song "Don't Fear the Reaper," which maybe you guys remember on the 1978 Halloween film. Number 20, Ghost, prequel from 2018, featuring Rats and Dance Macabre. Wasp, 19, self-titled, 19 from 1984, featuring I Want to Be Somebody and Love Machine. 18, Motley Crue, Shout at the Devil, 1988 or 1983 is when I was released, featuring Shout at the Devil, Looks Like Kill, Too Young to Fall in Love. And then they just brought out on the 27th a new box set to commemorate the Shout at the Devil album. So look for that on their website at motley.com. Number 17, Anthrax, Among the Living from 1987, featuring Among the Living, Indians, I Am the Law, Cotton Amash. Number 16, Megadeth, Peace Sells, but Who's Buying from 1986, featuring Wake Up Dead, The Conjuring, Peace Sells. Number 16, Megadeth, I already did that, I'm sorry. Number 15, Metallica, Ride the Lightning from 1984, featuring For Whom the Bell Tolls, Fate of Black, Creeping Death, Trapped Under Ice. And the next album of theirs, that was great. Master of Puppets from 1986, featuring Battery, Master of Puppets, Damage Incorporated, The Thing That Should Not Be in Orion. And then, of course, I had to throw this band in at number 14, Kiss, Hotter Than Hell from 1974, featuring Parasite, Hotter Than Hell, Let Me Go Rock and Roll. And then Creatures of the Night from 1982, featuring Creatures of the Night, Rock and Roll Hell, I Love It Loud, and Killer. Okay, so number 13, Judas Priest, Sad Wings of Destiny from 1976, featuring Victim of Changes, The Ripper, Dreamer, Deceiver, and Tyrant. Number 12, Dio, Dream Evil from 1987, featuring Dream Evil, All the Fools Sailed Away, I Could Have Been a Dreamer, and Lock Up the Wolves from 1990, featuring Wild One, Hey Angel, Lock Up the Wolves. Next in line is Iron Maiden at number 11, Killers, 1981, featuring Wrathchild, Murders of the Moo Road Killers, self-titled song Purgatory, Number of the Beast. Next album is Number of the Beast from 1982, featuring Children of the Damned, The Prisoner, The Number of the Beast, self-titled song Run to the Hills, Hallowed Be Thy Name. And then just to throw a little bonus, check out the Power Slave album from 1984. Great live album. That's the Live After Death album off the Power Slave tour. Power Slave is another great album of theirs. Check that out from 1984. Live After Death actually came out in 1985. So check out that live album. Great album to get you in the Halloween mood. And then number 10, AC/DC, Highway to Hell, 1979. Featuring the song Highway to Hell, Shot Down in Flames. Girls Got Rhythm, Touch Too Much, If You Want Blood, You've Got It. And then, of course, you all should know this album, Back in Black from 1980, featuring Hell's Bells, Shoot to Thrill, You Shook Me All Night Long, Rock and Roll, and Noise Pollution. And then at number 9, King Diamond, the album Them from 1988, featuring Welcome Home, The Invisible Guests. Abigail, 1987, that was released, featuring Arrival, The Family Ghost. And then also check out Abigail Live, that came out in 87. That was recorded in various venues, not sure where that was recorded, but that's a great live album. And of course, this list wouldn't be complete without Alice Cooper. Welcome to My Nightmare from 1975, and featuring the song Welcome to My Nightmare, of course. Department of Youth, Only Women Bleed. And let's see here. And then at number 7, Ozzy Osbourne, Blizzard of Oz from 1980. I Don't Know, Crazy Train, Suicide Solution, Mr. Crowley. So many great songs on that album. And next was in 1981 from Ozzy, called Diary of a Madman, featuring Over the Mountain Flying High Again. You Can't Kill Rock and Roll, Believer, Diary of a Madman, and Bark at the Moon, featuring Bark at the Moon from 1983, Rock and Roll Rebel, Waiting for Darkness, another great album from him. At number 6, Rob Zombie, Hellbilly Deluxe from 1998, Super Beast, Dragula, Living Dead Girl, Demon Phenomenon. Those are the big tracks off that album.
Troy, your wife says look at the camera.
From 1998.
Your wife says look at the camera.
I'm looking at the camera. Let's see here. And then Twisted Sister, Stay Hungry from 1984. Those big tracks were off of that album, Stay Hungry, We're Not Gonna Take It, and Burn in Hell. And then, let's see, Horror Terria, Part A, Captain Howdy, Part B, Street Justice. And then, of course, the big ones on MTV, I Want to Rock, The Price. And number 4, Sabotage, Hall of the Mountain King from 1987. And of course, their big song on that was Hall of the Mountain King. So, and then we got Slayer in at number 3, Rain and Blood from 1986. And the big titles off that was Angel of Death, Raining Blood, and South of Heaven. Next big album in 1988, Mandatory Suicide, Dissident Aggressor, which was a Judas Priest cover. Okay, so the last two We got Black Sabbath featuring Ryan James Dio, Mob Rules from 1981, and the big songs on that was Turn Up the Night, Voodoo, The Sign of the Southern Cross, and Falling Off the Edge of the World. And then, of course, check out Live Evil from 1983. That was recorded in Seattle, Dallas, and San Antonio. So check out that great live album from the Ryan James Dio years with Sabbath. And then, of course, the number one band is, of course, Black Sabbath still, but this is with the Aussie years. Sabbath Bloody Sabbath from 1973, Killing Yourself to Live, Sabracadabra, Spiral Architect, and Sabbath Bloody Sabbath. Those were the big songs on that. Master of Reality from 1971, featuring After Forever, Children of the Grave, Into the Void, and the last two big ones is Paranoid from 1970, featuring War Pigs, Paranoid, Iron Man, Hand of Doom, Fairies Wear Boots. And the number one album, of course, this is what started all the hard rock, heavy metal. The album that started everything is Black Sabbath's self-titled from 1970, featuring the songs Black Sabbath, The Wizard, NIB, Evil Woman, and The Warning. That is your rundown of all the albums for Halloween to get you in the mood. So I know I went through that pretty fast, all the news today and everything, but you'll just have to go back through and, of course, rewatch that later after this is up and everything for you guys. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and bring my guests in. And so we got Ed Sueva, and we got Mitsie Johnson, and we got Kurtis Kiser, my meat cutter from the grocery store. So you guys come on in and join me. Anyway, and then we will be getting into the history of the hotel, everybody. So anyway, again, welcome everybody. Welcome all my Harbor Cigar Lounge family members. I'm so glad you guys are a part of this today. Hope you'll have a great time today. Hope you're having a great time so far. But anyway, Kurtis and Ed, there is your cigar.
Oh,
for
goodness.
Today.
Thank you.
And there's yours, sir. And I'll tell you what, Mitzi, did you want to sit on the edge?
Yes.
Is that where you want to be?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
I wanted you to see this.
Okay. Oh, well,
as long as that's in the picture, we're good.
That don't bother me because I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah,
that
Only team with the 1-star rating.
the one thing I gotta say though is that the Dallas Texans from late 1950s, before Dallas Cowboys were even a thing, that's who bought the Dallas Texans out was the Chiefs, and that was the Dallas Texans colors, the red, white, and gold. So still the same colors that are still carried through with the Chiefs these days. So, and then of course the Dallas Texans were still around 1960 when they brought the Cowboys in. So they were both sharing the same stadium, and but then the Chiefs bought out the Texans, and of course Dallas stayed since they were a new franchise team at the time. So a little bit of history for you guys.
Yeah.
So anyway, you guys go ahead and you're welcome to cut and light that cigar whenever you're ready. What I did on purpose is I left mine in the tubo, and I've been aging these for a few weeks now, maybe a month now, and but I wanted to see what the difference was on how these smoked compared to keeping it in the tubo or keeping it out of the tubo. So we're going to see which one smoked the best today. And so anyway, hello to everyone that's joining us live. Thank you for being here. I'll definitely work on reading comments now, whatever comes through. So, but anyway, let's get into the hotel a little bit. So you guys want to tell me when the hotel was first developed and the history of that, and who took that over, or who started this hotel and all that?
You bet we're going to tell you about all that, but I'm a little upset with you, to be honest with you, because, well, I'm a 1990s kind of guy, and Jethro Tull Aqualung. I don't know how you could miss Jethro Tull Aqualung from being on your list, Troy Harper.
The reason why they're not on my list is because they beat Metallica
Oh,
in the
dun, 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 dun.
and back in
Aqualung.
'91 they beat Metallica. Metallica was up for the best album of the year
Uh-huh.
with the Black Album, and then they had Enter Sandman and
Yeah,
The Unforgiven and Jethro Tull.
yeah.
I don't know if that's the album or not. I can't remember,
Aqualung, you bet.
but they beat Metallica out that year. So that's why he's not on my list, Ed.
We had my 50th class reunion last year, and as it turned out, this was the music that we celebrated to. Was a little Jethro Tull Aqualung. Okay, now that we got that out of the way.
So anyway, number 20 or number 22 on the top list of Halloween albums. Jethro Tull. And what was the name of that album again?
Jethro Tull Aqualung.
Aqualung. Okay.
Aqualung. Oh, goodness. We want to thank you for allowing us to be part of your podcast.
Absolutely. This is an honor, guys. It really
My
is.
sister and I have had the hotel back for 2 years. We had it initially back in '99. We got it listed on the National Register of Historic Places. It's traded hands a couple of times. We picked it up again 2 years ago, and we've been busy trying to make it appealing to a potential developer. Kimball is a very active community right now. We have a multitude of things going on, from a $40 million hospital that was just built to a $200 million expansion of Clean Harbors facility that your son works at and I work at for 30 years. And we have missile base activity going on with a lot of that kind of stuff. What I have here is a picture of the hotel. And that picture of the hotel, if you can see it, kind of points out the 1918, going back a ways to that point in time when Frank Cunningham built this beautiful hotel. And from that point on, we, as a town of Kimball, have been working at keeping it part of our history. I'm going to set that down over here.
Thank you for that, Ed.
What we'd like to do before we get started with history is to thank all the volunteers that have donated their time and energy over the last 25 years to pull plaster and lath out of the 86 rooms in the hotel and all the things that went along with kind of a demolition process inside. My sister, that's probably pulled 50 pounds of nails out of the boards that are still structure or support from the plaster and lath removal and all kinds of things. So we're very grateful for the community and for all the hard work that's gone into preserving this beautiful building. And with that, my sister being the historian, I'm going to put her in charge of talking about what the hotel's all about. And yeah, I'd like to know that.
Did we not get you filled up here?
No, we didn't get them filled up.
Well, geez, you're our guest of honor, and I didn't get you filled up. My gosh. Well, here we go.
Oh, look at that. Now we're cooking. Thank you.
There you go, sir.
Yes. In case I missed mentioning, when this fine feller I hear was talking about Rat, I had the great pleasure of taking my kids to see
I was hoping
Rat.
you'd bring that up.
Yes. We were in Denver, and my 11, 12-year-old son come running into the room at the hotel at the Holiday Inn saying that he had seen Rat. And I said, not in this hotel. This is a nice hotel. And he goes, no, the band Rat. And I said, there's a band named Rat? And he goes, oh, yeah, and they're staying here at the hotel. They're playing at Red Rocks in Denver. And I said, well, that's just around the corner. He said, can we go? So just like that, we got tickets, and I took him and his brother, and we went. We watched Rat. So that was my initiation to the heavy metal genre.
That is some great metal news.
That's great metal news.
That is great metal news.
Now you're gonna forgive me if I don't fire this bad boy up, because I'm gonna preserve this with my stuff. I'm getting enough secondhand smoke right here that I'm good right now. Okay,
You got to smoke that. I can get you another one.
is that right?
Yes.
I'm gonna smoke it.
Yes,
Okay.
I can get you another one.
Well,
You want
do
me to-
all that stuff. That
You want me to
do.
cut it and light it for you?
Yeah. Now I gotta point out something right here, in case you didn't see this. This is from my sister Mitsie, and it says, "Park your ash here." So if you can see that right there, park your ash right here. And that was something that we were kind of excited about right there.
Yes, and thank you for passing that on to me, Ed. I'm going to
You
take
got
great care of that thing.
All
I'll tell
right,
you
you take
what.
good care of that. I'm gonna
Can I have
flip
the
around
honor?
here, and
Okay.
I'm gonna let Mitzi come on in here.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm fine. They can see me. What I would, my brother and I would like to do, first of all, is present to you one of our shirts of the
Oh,
Wheat Girls.
wow. Well, my gosh. Thank you.
Yeah,
That's great. Thank you guys for that. I appreciate that. I will always wear that with pride. Definitely.
well, we
Absolutely.
appreciate you taking the time to show our precious building to everyone.
Well,
And
we got a lot of members around the world, so definitely wanted everyone to see that. See what you guys have here going. It's just, this place has so much rich history and so much amazing stuff that's going on at this place. I had to find an opportunity to share this to the world, and I'm just glad you guys are part of this as well, of course.
Yes.
So, Kurtis, anything you have to say?
No, just
Why don't you talk about what happened before this started today?
So Troy forgot the cigars, so he had to run home and grab the cigars. And me being me, I was just walking around and looking, admiring the different pictures and stuff over there, and I had a feeling like someone was watching me. And I kind of glanced over my shoulder and let it be, and went back. And it wasn't even 30 seconds after I started going back over through the pictures over there, I thought I heard footsteps upstairs.
we have a lady
That's what I
that
heard.
lives upstairs. She's a precious woman. I've never, of course, seen a vision of her, but she always lets me know when she's close. Probably the most memorable I have from her is I was having a bad day one day. I'm cleaning up, and it's just I was getting aggravated, and I just sat down and I just talked to her, tucked it out. Everything was great. After I talked, I went and dumped some trash. I came back, and on one of the wooden boards were two rocks. I looked at those and I thought, I've cleaned all this. Where did these come from? Well, of course, she doesn't talk to me. She just is there. And in my own mind, it looked like two broken little hearts, rocks. I went through this whole building, and we have no debris of that type of a rock or stone.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Cheers.
So when I dumped
Cheers
the
to
next
you.
buckets, I found a rock outside. I brought it in and I set it there. And those three rocks are still upstairs. That's about the closest contact I've ever had
Do
with
you wanna
my
get another
precious
one?
lady.
No, you're good.
So, but yeah, she was pretty cool. Now, we
Oh.
had another interviewer that came here, and he was going to do a story on the wheat growers and everything. And he stood on that hallway there
Hello, Brad.
and
Thanks for
took a
joining us.
picture down the hall. Well, that scared him to no end. He saw something at the end of the hall, enough to where he left the building, went to the police station, and visited with them until Ed could get off work and come down. And he refuses to come back into this building. They did finish the story on the building, but he sent his assistant to do it.
Wow.
So the first thing she did was take a picture of that hallway and send it to him.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
He
Oh.
just sent back a text that said, "Not funny."
I'd be that ornery. I
Uh-huh.
would.
That
He
was
knows
just
I would.
Coming back in, sir.
I'm gonna come back
All
in
right.
here.
So,
But the building itself was built in 1918.
Okay.
from a gentleman that his family had a beautiful, gorgeous plantation back east. I mean, gorgeous. When they decided to come out here and do something, they sold that plantation and they came to Kimball, Nebraska. No roads, dirt paths, little, very few housing. The railroad wasn't even here then yet. It was just a little hole in the world. I mean,
Wow.
they left that plantation and everything to come here. I have pictures of that on a poster I made for Farmer's Day. And he bought a building and was a realtor for this area. He farmed out west of town, wheat. He was a big wheat farmer. And after he had been here for, a year, he decided to build this gorgeous, gorgeous hotel. His name was Mr. Cunningham. And we have pictures of his father and mother, his brother and his sister, and himself in it. Then pictures of him with his wife. This was, when it was completed, the #1 attraction hotel in the state of Nebraska.
Wow. You said between here and Omaha, this was the best, most glamorous, would you say,
Yes,
hotel?
it had
86
86 rooms.
cost
They,
$100,000 in 1918 money.
to build it. Wow.
Mm.
Its claim to fame was 1918 was when it was built. The next year, 1919, after Eisenhower had come back from World War I, they put together a convoy to go from Washington, D.C. to Spokane or to Seattle, Sacramento. And the Lincoln Highway, Highway 30, was the first transcontinental roadway. So the convoy coming through this way stayed in Kimball, and Ike and his wife and in-laws and all the town dignitaries had a big celebration here in the hotel. And that went on for a couple of days. And then they deployed and went on across Continental Divide into Wyoming. But that was very exciting that 1919, the one day to be President Eisenhower. I think Ike was a lieutenant colonel at the time, and he became the godfather of the highway system.
Mm.
They stayed here at the Wheat Growers.
Wow. And then who was it that you said stayed here? That was Eisenhower.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we have the Eisenhower suite up there.
Right. Right. And how long did you say that him and his family stayed here?
2 nights.
2 nights.
2 nights. You were right about this gar. That's a good gar.
Yeah. Well, I was going to ask you guys what taste, Curtis, what taste notes are you getting out of this so far? Would you say?
Oh, so far, I'm definitely getting a little bit of hint of the anise.
Mm-hmm.
It's very slight, but it's noticeable.
Yes. I'm definitely getting some earthiness. Definitely the anise,
Yes.
which again I explained was kind of a black licorice kind of a taste. Definitely getting a little natural sweetness to it, which I think is probably
Yes.
coming from the anise. So, but mine so far is burning very, very evenly, as you can see. And it's got a really nice dark oil wrapper, and the burn line is it's almost perfect right now, this burn line. And the ash is holding on. It's not even falling apart on me yet. I was thinking I needed the ashes thing, but it's still holding on tight. But the draw is loose. It's great. It's a great cigar. But my favorite part of the cigar is just that band. It's just got kind of a holographic kind of a band, like the notes say. It's just really shiny and just really stands out, that band. That really makes
It's
it a
definitely
very
what I'm gonna
attractive
keep.
looking cigar. So perfect for Halloween.
One of the magic secrets of a good cigar smoke is the memories that are created. When I was in
Yes.
college, I was dating a young lady, and her father had big dreams for this gal. And they invited me to their house for Thanksgiving, and I could tell he was very uncomfortable with this big city girl that was dating this small town guy with one stoplight in his town. And so to calm him down, I asked her dad to go out and have a visit with me. So we went out on the patio, and the girls were all looking out the kitchen window like, oh my God, what's going on now? And I told him that I was not going to detract from his dreams for his daughter. I was from a one stoplight little town, and she had big city dreams. And I said, we're just in love with each other to the point that she took me to my first Billy Graham crusade, took me to Campus Crusade for Christ. Not do anything for your daughter because she's a gem. And at that point, he opened up his humidor and he pulled out a couple of cigars, and he asked me if I'd join him in a cigar. And we smoked, and it was a magical moment. And anytime I fire up a cigar or have the invitation to do that, I think about that occasion and the other occasions that I've had through my 70 years of life when I had a cigar in my hand. Just like this moment right now, it's going to be a cherished moment.
Absolutely.
So the cigar smoking is not just about the quality of the cigar, it's about the memory that's created. And
Absolutely.
I think that's one of the things that I appreciate about this more than the fact that we're here celebrating a hotel.
That's right. Well,
Cheers.
we're here as brothers too, smoking these cigars, and I tell you what, the thing I've really tapped into with the whole cigar world is just the relationships that are built over a cigar. It still blows my mind to this day. And I cheers to you guys out there. I hope you guys have a cigar today that you're smoking with us. And if you got one of these Ghost Gurkha Angel cigars, I hope you're smoking it with us today. If whatever you guys are smoking, let us know what you're smoking today. Whatever you're drinking, let us know that too. But yeah, just we've got a neighbor here in town that my brother was over smoking a cigar with me. That was visiting from Sheridan, Wyoming, and my neighbor is a cigar smoker. I didn't realize that. He came over and said, "Hey, can I smoke a cigar with you guys?" And we're like, "Yeah, absolutely." And just the conversation we had, and I was able to get to know this guy, on a different level over a cigar. It was just the most amazing thing. But yeah, my first experience with a cigar was back in Dallas, Texas. A buddy of mine, Tom Carr, back in Dallas, Texas. He's partnered up with a company called Religion Tequila, and two of the old Dallas Cowboys, Ed Too Tall Jones and Kenny Gant, the Shark. Kenny Gant, the Shark. He partnered up with this company, and I was invited out. And so my first experience with a premium cigar was with two of my heroes from the Dallas Cowboys, but I'm not wealthy by any means, and these two guys are. But sitting down smoking a cigar together, we were all equals that day. They didn't care. They didn't care how much money I made or what I did for profession. We were there to enjoy the cigar and have a conversation. I got to know more about them. They got to know more about me, and we were just all on the same level that day. And that was 2 years ago. And so, yeah, it's just amazing. And I still, keep in touch with those guys. They keep in touch with me, and so we built a relationship over a cigar of all things, and I've just met so many other great people, that I've gotten to sit and smoke a cigar with. So it's amazing the relationships you build over a cigar. I tell you, and you're all equals when you sit down to one of these. So, cheers to you guys, by the way.
I got to tell you, Mr. Harper, call you little brother for sure, is that this juice you got here, this bug juice, is equal to the cigar. That's some good stuff.
It's pairing well. It's pairing well with it.
It is paired very well. And let me see the face of that jar again.
I would say so. Mine's
You guys didn't see what we're drinking. That's what we're drinking.
And that's good stuff.
Appalachian
right
Sipping Cream, Pumpkin Spice Latte is the name of that. And you can get that over at my grocery store, Main Street Market, for $22.99. It's on sale this week. Anybody that's watching that's from here in
Slip
Kimball,
around the corner here again.
you bet. Any one of you guys are from the
You guys
Kimball area,
like
We got those on sale this week for $22.99 right now. So if you're interested in that, come down and get one.
There you go. Right over. There you go. All right, now we're cooking.
I can't believe how good the cigar's doing.
Yeah, it's
Mm.
Yours is amazing.
It's like I said, this one was kept in the tube for the past few weeks. Is your ash falling off easy, or is it?
not really. And mine's not really burning real consistent. Of course, I don't think I got it lit properly anyway.
And I don't know if it's so there's no name for the gal that passed away in here that
No.
died. So I don't know if she's got something against me, but I've tried both of my lighters and my lighters will not work today. And they are filled up with butane, and they were working great before I came down here.
That's that sign up on the board over there that says no smoking historical property.
Yeah.
We're making an exception today.
Well, she's making an exception for him, I think, because his lighter's working really good, and it's the same lighter I've got, and they got the same amount of butane in them. And he was, she was actually, I think she was communicating with him while I went home to grab these cigars, because his cigar lighter is working great. And mine
Maybe
are,
she thinks I'm better looking.
well,
There you go.
that could be. Maybe she's hungry for some meat. Yeah, she's just kind of manipulating you so you'll bring her some. So anyway, but no, whoever you are, you're welcome to this. Of course, we're glad
Thanks
your
for
presence is
sharing
here.
your abode with us.
You're with us here, and
Amen.
we appreciate you. But coming into the hotel, I feel totally peaceful. I don't feel anything that makes me feel uncomfortable or uneasy. I feel so peaceful in this place. Last night, when we were kind of coming down, this was after you left, Ed, or it was actually before you came. I was kind of showing Marcy a little bit of the place. And do you need a refill there, Marcy?
Yeah.
Curtis, do you want to do the honors there for me?
Yes,
I got
I
more
will.
coffee where this is came from. I got more. But I took my wife downstairs, and you might have to take that off. It
I was just
doesn't
gonna
pour
say,
real
it
well.
didn't pour real well.
But I took her downstairs, and I think it was just too much. I don't know. It was just a little bit too much for her. But she said she didn't feel anything. It was just, I think, just
Overwhelmed.
how it was laid out downstairs. That was kind of overwhelming. But being through this hotel, I definitely have not felt anything that has caused me to.
Excuse me.
Cheers to you.
No,
Nancy.
Oh, some more cream. I forgot the
Oh,
cream.
I thought you were going to cheer.
No.
Okay.
During the blizzard of 49, can you imagine?
Hey, Tara, I'm glad you're with us.
There you go.
Sorry.
How you doing today, Tara? Hope you and everyone's doing good. Love you. Glad you're here with us. My stepdaughter Tara is with us
Wonderful.
through my wonderful wife Marcy. Let's see here. So anyway, my mom's asking if we could describe the downstairs area more.
Oh, that's your
Downstairs area during the blizzard of 49, when the two trains, eastbound and westbound, got stuck on the tracks, we had 450 people that stayed in the hotel. And a lot of them were dorm style down in the basement and throughout the hotel. You talked about a shortage of two-ply. There'd have been a big shortage of two-ply during that 5 days that they were all captives of the hotel. Snow was so blinding and bad that they had to tie a rope from the front door to the railroad tracks across the street so people could pull themselves along the rope to get into the hotel. That was one of its claim to fame. Our local pageant parade day is called Farmers Day, and we're all proud to talk about Mr. Cunningham starting that program here in 1919. He had been so successful with his wheat that he invited the farmers to come in, and for 3 years he treated the farmers and ranchers and their families to free lunch here at the hotel. In 22, the wheat rust went through, wiped them out. 23, the community took Farmers Day over as a local activity. So Farmers Day originated in Kimball, and and
It's still going today.
still going today.
What am I talking about?
I'm going to let my sis talk about the history because she's the historian. Yeah, I have a warm up. Thanks, sir.
Yeah, one of my questions also was what caused this hotel finally to not be used as much as it was in the beginning?
What led to its demise?
It was, weren't you
Mr.
saying that it was something to do with people were starting to buy cars and they weren't
Well, Mr.
they weren't
Cunningham
using the trains as much? Or?
had wheat problems.
Mm.
The crops were wiped out. He didn't have the income to support it,
Okay,
and it just kind of went down from there.
I see. Okay, and what about what year would you say that maybe was?
That was
approximately?
1923. The hotel went into foreclosure. It was started a year later by a family, the Moores, picked up the hotel and ran it for 20 years.
Okay,
And then traded hands a couple of more times. The last time it was in commercial operation was in 1983. And the family that owned it had 2 teenage daughters. And between the 18-hour work days that went on for Mrs. Barr, she finally told her husband, I'm going to work myself to death and you got to get me out of here.
mm.
So they moved to Ohio where they had family, and the hotel was shut down. Purchased by a couple of guys from Colorado. They were going to convert it into apartments. That never did happen. They stopped paying taxes, and we picked it up in 98, as I had said earlier, for taxes, and we've been involved in it for 25 years,
Okay.
off and on as owners.
Yeah, his line now.
Oh, Greg,
I'm
we're jinxed
sorry.
now.
Oh my gosh.
Would you like that for him?
I was going to say,
This
there's
is gonna
always,
be funny.
there's always a light.
Mine's starting to go.
All right.
Gosh, guys, I don't know.
Maybe it's the cold.
You think it could be?
Could be, because mine was in my pocket before we sat down.
Ah, well, that could be. I didn't think that would affect it, I guess.
Well, it affects my Zippo. I don't imagine there'd be any difference with that.
Oh, my lady's not tapping me on the shoulder, so it's not her.
Here, quick.
Let me see that real quick. There it goes.
There we go.
I needed to do a
Now we
touch-up
got
on
some
mine.
burn going.
Well, gentlemen and ladies,
Okay, give me one of those ladies.
maybe it is too cold. Maybe it is cold in here, guys, just so you know.
It's chilly. I want to say it's
My
cold.
heater didn't want to work in here, so.
I can't tell whether it's smoke or breath coming out of me.
Not
I know.
50-50.
50-50.
So
Once
when-
again, we just want to thank all of the volunteers from Kimball, the foundation that was set up, nonprofit foundation, Save the Wheat Growers Hotel, back in the 2006. Kent Sue Worker and a group of Kimballites that had purchased a hotel went to work trying to get support for their nonprofit, Save the Hotel. And
Okay, mine's working.
That's working out. This one is anyway. Go ahead, Ed. I'm sorry.
so it's here because of the volunteer efforts of a lot of Kimball people, and we're eternally grateful for them supporting it then and supporting it now.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful for my sister here who is tireless in her efforts.
And Mitzi, you drove down here from Scotts Bluff a lot to
Yes.
help maintain those. How often
Sometimes
do
every day.
you come down just about? I was going to ask you how often it really is that
Yes.
you come down about every day.
It depends on what I have going on.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm a dedicated person. If I start to sweep and clean up or whatever, I come back every day because I want it done.
Right.
So,
Well, we appreciate all your dedication to keeping this historic hotel up. And even though this place has been rumored to be
haunted.
like I said, I feel so peaceful in this place. I really
Yeah.
do. And so when you've heard those footsteps, though, did you like feel uneasy or anything, or did you?
Never.
Well,
Absolutely.
Curtis had that experience in here.
Yeah. Well, say
And even when you had your experience, maybe, so you said you felt totally at peace with the whole
Totally
situation.
at peace. Actually, seriously, she calmed me down
Hmm.
from a very rough morning.
Right.
I mean, and then when I saw, like I say, the stones sitting on the ledge there, I mean, any anger, any frustration, anything just left.
Yeah.
It was just beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
One of the most compelling experiences I've had with Our Lady of the House is I was showing a gal through on a tour one day. The vandals had been in and they had spray painted assorted things throughout the hotel.
Yeah.
And on the second floor, where she's been seen in the window a number of times, the vandals had painted X's for eyes and a goofy smile. And this gal that was with me on the tour stopped and she looked at the window and she just told me, she said, she doesn't like that. And I said, like what? She doesn't like the paint on the window. We need to take it off.
Huh.
I didn't have to ask her who she was talking about. So we got what we needed to remove the paint from the window. We spent 20 minutes cleaning the window up. And when it was all done, she looked around, she being the person I was giving the tour to, and she said, that's much better. She's happy now.
Wow.
And we went on about our tour. Somebody that had never been in the hotel to have that experience, and I have a photograph or two that was taken of the courtyard. When I took the picture, I was excited because the courtyard that had weeds as tall was all mowed, trees trimmed, and it really looked nice in the courtyard. Well, one of the pictures of the window and the small Polaroid that I had taken was of that particular window, and it was pointed out to me there was something in the window when I blew the picture up to where you could see a definite image of somebody looking out the window. And
Yeah.
so we have always had a respect for the fact that we're not here alone, and
there's
we
no fear.
Yeah.
we offer the respect that's due to somebody that might inhabit the building.
Right.
And yeah.
But can I tell you a funny story though?
Yeah, can I answer one? Can I tell?
Yes.
My mom sent in a question. Why did my wife feel so uncomfortable downstairs? Just real quick, Mom. It's really dark downstairs. A lot of stuff down there that they've kept from the hotel, from all the wood from rooms, and there's a lot of like the toilets and just a lot of stuff down there. But we were originally going to do this. We were kind of wanting to do this downstairs originally, but there's a lot of stuff downstairs that was going to be could consider to be well, not dangerous, I'll say, but it's just stuff down there that could cause someone to get hurt. And so we felt it was more safer to do this up here. But it's just there's a lot of stuff downstairs, and there's just a lot of some smaller rooms downstairs, like the old kitchen, the old laundry room. And what was that room downstairs? But it had all the numbers around the wall.
The coat room.
The coat room. So the coat room's kind of small and tight, and then there's a coal room downstairs that they kept coal in. I think just being so deep down into the basement, into unfamiliar quarters, as maybe you could say, I think it just the tightness or just
And the darkness.
and the darkness, I think, just kind of made her uneasy. She said she didn't feel anything like that made her uneasy, like anything to do with spiritual things. It wasn't that. It was just they're just the conditions of the basement, pretty much, Mom. So, but anyway, go ahead, Mitzi.
Okay, well, like Ed said, we had some kids, some vandals, and they broke windows upstairs. And so I was upstairs one day. I was the only one here. I cleaned up all the mess and everything, and then I sat there by the window on the ladder, measuring to cut the plastic so I could get the windows covered. So then I got the top of the window all stapled in so that I could work with the rest. As I'm sitting there, a car pulls up out on the street on that side. And this lady gets out of the car and she's hollering at her husband to give her the camera. And so she gets the camera and she's going to take a picture of the lady in the window.
I wanted you to tell the story.
I
Actually.
look out the window and I go, "Excuse me." And she looks up and I go, "I'm real." Oh, she was so frustrated. She got back in the car and they left.
Did they leave about 100 miles an hour?
But
Thought
she
they
was
were getting
serious.
something
She
pretty
was
special
getting
that
a
day, and it was
real
only just Missy in the
picture of
window.
the lady in the window.
See, now they need. I'm surprised I'm surprised there hasn't been anything else that. You know how people will fabricate certain things or
Right.
tell someone something and then they misinterpret it and they tell a different story. I'm surprised there's nothing going around saying that there was the lady in the window actually spoke.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
But
And then I thought, you know what? I should have just let her take a picture.
yeah, I would have.
I didn't, I just wanted you to know that I'm real.
Yeah.
Ed,
Uh-huh.
tell him the story about the three ladies that were looking in the window, but they wouldn't come in. But this is an awesome story.
Yeah, I was across the street at my mini storage unit, and I saw these three gals that had come up to the window, and they were hands up to the window, and they're looking in. And I watched them for a while, and finally I walked over and I introduced myself and asked them what the curiosity was with the hotel. And they said, "Well, we're just trying to decide if the spirits in the building are friendly or not." And I said, "Well, I got a key. I can open it up and let you in." And they said, "No, we're not ready for that yet." And I said, "Okay." And I said, "What makes you think that there's spirit energy in the building?" And they said, "Well, we're Wiccans." And I said, "What are Wiccans?" And they said, "We're witches." And I said, "Okay." And we had a very nice conversation. They seemed legitimate. They knew a number of buildings, places in the immediate area where deaths had occurred. So by the time we got done talking, I was convinced that there was something to them. We had a tour of the hotel a couple of months later for Farmers Day, which we normally do. And they had gone through on the tour, and they were the last to leave that afternoon. And they came up to me and said, "We're just here to tell you that the spirits that are here are not demonic. They're friendly, and they mean you no harm." And I said, "Well, thank you. That means a lot to me. It really does." And, from that point, like I said, with Sis and I, we had an occasion where we had cats that were going to go to Colorado to be spayed and neutered. They had a program. We had the cats caged from where I work. They couldn't come in on the day they were going to because of road conditions.
Mhm.
So we let the cats go in the hotel. And they ran the hotel. We had the biggest cat house in town for a month.
Hey, hon.
So the big cat house was their playhouse. Sis and I would take care of the litter box that we had and feed them water, and they'd be waiting at the door for us, and we'd get here to take care of them. And it was just nice to know that the pets were comfortable with being in the hotel.
Huh.
And that was kind of a comfort.
And the fact that with the windows broken out, covered but not, they could still, we had no birds in here. We had no critters at all. They just did not come in our building.
Yeah.
That's amazing. What about what year do you think the gal that? So did we talk about how she got trapped
No.
in there? I was just wondering
we
if you
haven't
guys
covered that yet.
if you could fill me in on that, and how did people know that there? So by the way, guys, there was an old speakeasy underneath this hotel as well back in the early 1900s after this hotel was built. There was a speakeasy, so I'm going to have them talk about the speakeasy situation and the gal that got trapped. That's how this all came about this place being supposedly haunted. The gal that she was transporting some illegal alcohol, right?
Yes, I don't know if you can see much in the picture, but up in the corner of the sketch, it's kind of a hashtag pattern. And it was pointed out by an archaeologist that hashtag pattern represented a floor under a floor.
Okay.
And they pointed out that that was very emblematic at the time of a speakeasy. He said, that's like the glowing neon sign. And I said, well, if that was the case, then why wouldn't the law enforcement know? And they said they were the first ones in the booze parlor. As it turned out, guy that had been the sheriff of Kimball County for 24 years. He was a legend in law enforcement. He gets voted out of office in favor of his deputy in 1921, who was much kinder and gentler to the bootleggers.
Mm.
Mr. Forstling was immediately recruited by the feds in Omaha to be the Elliot Ness of the West. So he goes to Omaha with his family. A year later, he's got to come back to Kimball. He's got to arrest the sheriff that was once his deputy and the sheriff from Sidney, Cheyenne County, because they're in cahoots with the bootleggers.
During Prohibition.
Yeah, they go south of the little town of Bushnell, 120 people, a mile away from the gentleman that built the hotel, Mr. Cunningham, their neighbors. And they raided the biggest still in the state of Nebraska. It was not in Omaha or Lincoln, it was in Bushnell, which was pretty monumental, actually.
Thanks for joining us, Amy.
So they raided the still, and that added further credibility to the fact that this was a high-profile bootleg area. The building that was owned by Mr. Cunningham, the guy that built the hotel, was a block away, and it was called the Auto Barn. And the Auto Barn was where the bootleggers would bring the booze. They dropped it down a tunnel, and the tunnel crossed into the hotel, and the hotel would then get the illegal booze during Prohibition, and the party was on. And unfortunately, as the story goes, a gal that was one of the saloon workers, she was in the tunnel going from one end to the other, and unbeknownst to the workers, they closed and locked both ends, and she was stuck in the tunnel for 2 days, and when they found her, she was dead.
Wow. Now downstairs, there's one wall that's all patched up. And it's the only area downstairs that's got a bunch of patchwork over it.
It's right underneath.
And you guys believe that's where she was probably trapped, was in that area?
Well,
we think that that's where the speakeasy was.
Okay, right.
That was the entrance. Somehow, we're thinking that out between those two buildings, a block away, is where the Auto Barn was at. And somewhere between here and there is where the tunnel was at. We've never been able to.
And there's a lot of tunnels underneath Kimball.
Yeah. Kimball was riddled with tunnels, as a lot of small communities were. And that was,
Right. Wow. And then, guys, I did bring this with me, some paper or some stuff I printed off from their website. But as you can see, there's the symbols of the speakeasy that they're talking about. If you can see that, a little bit of a clearer picture than the other one that Ed had there. But Ed, speaking of speakeasies, and speaking of my Boston Scally Caps that my mom is always asking me about, wanting me to talk about, this is my Halloween one, as you guys can see. There's the inside of it. This one's called the Pumpkin Head. But Ed, you've admired the hats I wear at work, and you've admired these hats that I wear. And before it gets too late, I want to present you with one of my very favorite Boston Scally Caps. So Ed, this is for you, and there's a speakeasy pin on it.
Nice.
And of course, hope you forgive me, but it is Dallas Cowboys colors. But I do want to present you with this, Ed, but there's a picture of the inside of it, everybody. But Ed, I want you to have that as a token of my appreciation to you, brother.
Thank you.
God
Troy
bless
Harper.
you, love you, brother. And you don't know how much I appreciate you.
What I love about you, Troy Harper, is the fact you got a crucifix around your neck, and you're a good Christian man, and that's what's helped Sis and I preserve the building. Is we've got the windows in the front filled up with good inspirational Christmas or Christian messages to people that come by and look in the building, and we just feel that the essence of Saint Anthony, who we prayed to for miracles, is part of our plan for restoration of the hotel, and it makes a difference, and we do appreciate that input into the hotel. So thank you.
It's an honor. It's an honor to be here, and
Really
it's
is, yeah.
and yes, I do. I do have faith, and I got my faith that I think most people who know me know that I do. Some people probably might criticize me for being such a metalhead, but I tell you what, that doesn't get in the way of my beliefs, of course. God and my beliefs will always be number one above anything. And he brought my wonderful wife into me, which, hon, thanks for preparing our coffee for us today. But
It's fantastic.
it is very good.
Cheers.
And cheers to you, baby. Cheers to all of you guys out there that are with us. And I'll just tell you a story. My wife, I found her on Facebook several years back. We went to high school together, graduated in high school together back in Torrington, Wyoming. And of course, in high school, I was hung out with all the metalheads. And she was a cheerleader, and I always thought she was out of my league, but she was just always the nicest, sweetest gal in school. And just the prettiest gal in school, I thought, too. But I never could get the guts to ask her out. I hung out with her and the other gals and guys I went to school with. We all kind of were in the same crowd, but I also hung out with other kids too, which was kind of like I said, the metalhead crowd. And but I just never had the guts to ask her out. I always wanted to so bad. And so she graduated a semester early, and I had that same opportunity, but I stayed in school. Of course, she attended the graduation ceremony and everything. But as we all left after graduation, I went on to move to Florida and get involved in music. But still, even though I had dated other gals and was with other gals throughout my life, she was always still in the back of my mind. And I just, all those years, I just always wondered, how she was doing, where she was. And all those years, she was, after I moved back from Florida, I was, working in Torrington, working in Scottsbluff, doing different things, worked at some TV stations and different things like that. Had all kinds of different jobs. Well, all those years, she was still in the area. And being at the grocery store back in Torrington, working there for 16 years, one of her sons was actually one of our cashiers. But of course, he had his dad's last name. And so I didn't put two and two together. Didn't see Marcy in the store, which she said she was in the store, but for some reason our paths just never crossed. And and then lo and behold, went through my second marriage that fell apart. And being here in Kimball, taking over the store, and being here I was here for probably 3 years. I was here for 3 years, and I just happened to going through my Facebook, and there's a section you come across where you can invite people as friends. Well, I was going through that, and I saw her, and I had to take a second look. Her hair was shorter in the picture. In high school, she had very long hair, which her hair is pretty long again, but in the picture it was shorter. And so I had to take a second look at that picture, and it was like, sure enough, that's her all right. So ended up sending her a message. She was going to do a garage sale. Sent her a message telling her that, hey, I'd be glad to come help you with that. I haven't seen you since high school. And I thought that'd be a way to break the ice, kind of offer myself to come help her with that.
Damn, you're smooth, brother.
I'm smooth. I am smooth. And
I've heard of a lot of things, but helping with garage sale.
But
that's true love right there.
She said she'd let me know if she needed any help with it, and I didn't message her after that. So it was about a week later, probably approximately. She messaged me one morning. It was on a Saturday morning. She said to have a good day, and she said if me helping out with that garage sale didn't work out, that we should still try to get together and talk or something, and still get together and do something. So that just blew me away. And of course, I messaged her back and I said, "Well, is there a time I could call you?" And she said, "Well, I'm in South Dakota this weekend. I'll be back on Sunday night. I'll call you." And I'm thinking, yeah, probably won't. I was thinking, well, sure enough, she said she would call me I think she said she would call me about 9 o'clock at night on Sunday. And by gosh, 9 o'clock hit and she called me. And so we talked for hours and hours. And I had to be at work at 3:30, 4 o'clock the next morning. But we ended up talking all night. And so we hung up. We ended up talking the next night. And we talked about we talked about getting together, definitely. And so a few days later, we were talking about, oh gosh, it was probably on a Monday night we were talking. We were talking about maybe getting together the next weekend. I ended up going down to see her the following Thursday, and we've been together ever since. And then, of course, this was our first year anniversary this year in September. September 14th was our first wedding anniversary. So,
well, it took you long enough.
Yeah. So, but she's just been such a huge support to me with all this cigar stuff, and she's actually the one that kind of pushed me to go in this direction more because of my love for it. So her and my other son, her adoptive son, which I consider my son too, they started a cigar lounge in the basement of our house, and so it's just been we've just been doing more and more with the whole cigar thing, and she's just been a huge support behind this whole thing. So without what her and my son did, I wouldn't be here doing these podcasts right now.
Well, she's a good interior designer. She helped set up our stage.
She set the stage for me to really pursue my passion, and
she's your passion.
She's my first passion, of course.
Yes.
My work family, my family here in Kimball, they're a big part of my life too. But she's, of course, my family's my first passion, of course. And cigars, I'd have to say, is, besides my work and everything, which I love my work. I love being a part of this community. I love the store. Love my employees. Along with that and this, I mean, that's my second passion, of course. So
yeah, it's a crazy connection, Harper, between you and me, and the fact that I've got 55.
I've been getting to know you for 6 years now.
55 years. I've been part of the co-op food store.
Yes. Tell them about your involvement in the co-op store.
I worked there for 4 years in high school back in the 60s. I had a key to the store given to me by the manager when I was a junior in high school so I could help unload the truck when it would get here in the morning. I do that and then I go to school. But for 2 years I had a key to the store, which was quite an honor to me. And we did that. I was president of the board of directors for the co-op food store for 4 years. And through my efforts and the efforts of the board of directors, we saved the store from financial failure, as there had been some erroneous things that went on prior to my joining the board that just about defaulted the store. We got that healed up. I bought a piece of property, 5 acres at a tax sale prior to the hotel in the 90s, cleaned up the property. About the same time, the Safeway store decided to move out of Kimball. The co-op food store decided they needed a bigger place, being the only grocery store in town. So they went shopping for a piece of property. They bought the property that I had on the east end of town, which is now the store that you manage and operate. And they built the store, and along comes Troy Harper and this guy here, Mr. Meat Cutter, to provide us with all we need for our grocery store. And I'm just proud and happy to say that I got 55 years of history with what goes on Main Street Market Co-op Food Store. And thanks for you guys' hard effort, because it makes a difference not having to go out of town and be able to buy your groceries here in Kimball.
We appreciate that. We don't hear
Salute.
that enough. We really don't hear.
Cheers.
Yeah, cheers on
Your-
that.
your
That's,
meat-
we don't hear that enough, Ed.
Your meat department is fabulous.
Yes, it is.
I
You
mean,
know-
I'm in Scottsbluff, and I'll drive here to buy a roast.
Well, we appreciate
I hear
that,
that
a lot.
from 2 other people
Yes.
as well, and it really means a lot to me, especially with
I mean,
how people criticize how I do things compared to my predecessor, which I learned a lot from him. I will never take anything away from that. But at the same time, people need to understand changes occur, and a lot of them do not understand that.
Yeah. Well, it's an honor to serve this community, definitely, and we get more negative than positive, and so
The only
when
negative I have, Mr. Harper, is that coffee over there needs to be passed this way.
you got it.
If you can pass that coffee this way, your wife didn't make it for nothing.
No, we got more there.
Thank you,
So-
Marcy.
We thank you, Marcy.
Let's see here. My wife said, "I wish you guys could go downstairs." Anyway, I got. Let's see here, hon. What are you saying? The old freezer in the kitchen and the old laundry room still have the washer, dryer, and spinner.
Thank you.
Well, we can go down and take pictures.
We can once this is over, then I can do another live feed, and I could do that showing. We could do that definitely.
Absolutely.
So yeah, here in a little bit, guys. Once this podcast is over, if you're interested in hanging around, I'll start up another live feed. It'll be a separate live feed. We'll go down, and you guys can see the basement if you're interested in hanging around.
In the meantime,
In the
if they
meantime-
go to wheatgrowershotel.com, there's a great website that the folks that had it, the workers, Kent and Sue, have been kind enough to allow to remain in operation. And they can go to that website and see pictures of the hotel and hear stories of what we've been talking about today. They've done a great job maintaining that website. We appreciate Kent and Sue for doing that. So thank them, and go see the Wheat Growers live and in person.
Yeah, definitely check out the Wheat Growers website, guys. It's just under. I just googled Wheat Growers Hotel, Kimball, Nebraska, and it brought me up to the website. If you go on there, you can see where Ed Avila is on there. Definitely find a way to contact these guys if you're ever interested in a tour. If you're passing through town, or if you're going to be coming to Kimball, any of you that don't live here, if you're coming to Kimball, maybe message me even, let me know, because I can get a hold of Ed
Anytime.
or
any
Mitzi
day.
here, and I can get a hold of either one of them, and we can definitely help maybe set up a way for you to look at this place. It is amazing, guys, and my lighter's starting to work a little bit again.
Say now, last night I went on YouTube because you were telling me about that YouTube video.
Yeah, there's a
And I
YouTube
watched-
video part 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, I watched all 3, and I can tell you just from watching the video and what little bit looking around in here I did, the video does not do it justice.
Yeah, no, it really doesn't. You guys got to be here to really see what this place is like.
We are so
It is amazing.
proud.
It is amazing.
Share
Oh, who
that.
was our unnamed guest that I forgot to mention? Mitzi, what is your dog's name again?
Mia.
Mia. We forgot to mention our our fourth guest, which is Mia.
Yeah.
And then now, who is this in the picture, guys?
It's just an anonymous individual that we keep to remind us that we're not alone in occupying this space, and she's just a beautiful image of the lady that shares the space with us up on the second floor.
Okay.
Just kind of put a face to her.
Yeah, put a
Our own
face to her.
version.
It's just a random picture, but we like to keep her in mind as we share and occupy the space.
Yes, absolutely. And now, how did you guys get that painting?
It's
It was just donated?
It was a painting that was in an antique store, and the painting just kind of jumped off the wall and said, "Take me," and we brought her here. And
I see.
it's been a very good addition, calming addition to the hotel, and we appreciate having her here to remind us that we're not alone. She's almost as good looking as my sister, right?
Oh, no way. She's gorgeous.
2 angels.
Oh
Amen.
gosh. Yes, Mom, we will do a tour here in a little bit. Just in case you guys missed what we're smoking today, we're smoking the Gurkha Ghost Angel Tubos Maduro 6x52 size on these cigars. Again, the wrapper's Brazilian. Arapaco Maduro. Binder 98 Dominican. Criollo. Fellow Nicaraguan Dominican Republic. Strength is medium. Some of the taste notes: earth, pepper, cocoa, cinnamon, some natural sweetness. Also, some light hints of barley and caramel. So that's what we're smoking today. And really, my cigar's done pretty well. I've had to touch it up once. Other than that, it's done very well. I haven't had to relight it. I just had to do a touch up on it. It was kind of starting to burn a little bit uneven, but other than that, it's had great draw, great construction. But it's been a great cigar overall so far. I just wish these lighters would work.
Yeah, no kidding.
But
So no, mine's been pretty good. I've had to touch it up a couple times, and I had to relight at first. But other than that,
Yeah.
it's been pretty good.
of course, I did a V cut on my cigar today. The other guys did a straight cut. And I don't think that really made a difference on how they smoked today. And I don't know if the cold did anything to affect these. I know it obviously did the lighters. It's either the cold or the gal that lives here that didn't want us really maybe smoking in here today. Anyway, gosh, anyway, it's such a treat being here today and to do this podcast again. And Kurtis, I appreciate you being here today.
Anytime.
And
When you offered for me to come and join in on this, I've been in town for 7 years now, and I've always wanted to see the inside of this, but working on Farmers Day most of the time, I've never gotten the opportunity. And just coming in here and seeing this, and me being such a history person, it meant a lot.
Okay, this is Mia.
This is Mia. I don't know if you guys can see her. There's Mia right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, I hope you guys are having a good time today with us. I really do. This has been great getting to hang out with Kurtis and Mitsie and Ed and smoking a cigar together and drinking some coffee with a little bit of moonshine in there. Anyway, we're doing pretty good. We're doing pretty good. It has not been as cold as I thought it would be in this hotel. Brought a heater. Of course, it didn't work out very well, but it actually hasn't been terribly too cold in here. I'm surprised our lighters aren't working because it's really not super terrible in here. And it is starting to snow a little bit outside, I see now.
Yeah.
We just got our first big snow. What was it, yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Yesterday. So, but yeah, other than that, it's been
Which is unusual.
not too bad.
Because usually we get our first snow way before now.
Mm-hmm.
Usually about the 15th, give or take a few days, we get our first snow. But this year it's so late.
Right. I know it.
It's horrible to drive in.
And then again, guys, we've been drinking the Red Line coffee. This is the brand of coffee that Nathan Munt runs back in Torrington, Wyoming. And get a hold of him on Facebook. And again, we're drinking the Highlander Grog coffee today. It's a darker roast kind of a coffee, whiskey, kind of a whiskey flavor to it. It's paired really great with these cigars today, and the moonshine liqueur mix that we got, the pumpkin latte flavor, liqueur / moonshine, I guess. It's really done great. This coffee is paired great with these cigars.
Even with the homemade schnapps.
Yeah, and he stuck in some homemade schnapps. We won't talk about that right now. But.
What we won't talk about is the fact that I haven't had this much fun with my clothes on in a long time.
We'll edit that part out, so we don't traumatize anybody here. Let's see here. But yeah, guys, I hope you guys know the floor is open to whatever you want to talk about. If there's anything else that you guys want to talk about to do at this hotel, please be free to do that.
Blizzard of 49.
Yeah, what about the Blizzard of 49?
We kind of hit on that a little bit. Blizzard of 49 was world renowned for being one of the worst storms to occupy the Midwest. And they had hundreds of thousands of head of livestock that died on ranches, frozen in place as they stood out in the pastures. And they said the snow banks were so bad that you could go from the snow bank up onto the roofs of the buildings down Main Street.
Mm-hmm.
The two trains, eastbound and westbound on Union Pacific, right across the street, were snowed in. They couldn't get out. They ran out of coal. They couldn't keep the cars warm. So they had to evacuate the people on the passenger train into the hotel. Fortunately, Mr. Cunningham had just received a load of coal and was able to keep the hotel boiler operating and the hotel warm. And it was hospice for the people off the train and the community that needed a place to stay. 450 people they estimated in the hotel for about 5 days. They had a soup kitchen that ran 24 hours a day. The people
Mattresses off the beds.
took the mattresses off the bed and laid them wherever they could put them to where people had a place to lay down. And it was a blessing to the community and to the people on the trains that there was a place like this to get them through that week-long blizzard.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then where was the depot? The old depot, was it just on this side over here?
Yeah, it was just right across the street.
Okay.
Just a block away was the depot. But again, the depot shut down because it had no heat.
Okay.
And this was one of the few places in town that they were able to come to and stay warm through the course of the blizzard. And that was a blessing, and those are the kind of things that we appreciate.
Yeah. Wow.
So you people that are sitting out there in the warmth of your homes,
Yeah.
if it sound like my teeth are chattering, it's because they are. Yeah.
It's definitely cold outside, but it's a lot warmer in here than what it is outside.
Exactly.
We don't have that breeze blowing at us. It makes it,
Look at the snow.
single digit cold. I think the inside of the hotel right now is about 34 degrees. So
I'd say that's accurate.
yeah. Something like that.
Because this is about the same temperature as my cut room. That's what my cut room is at.
Oh. Yeah, this is great coffee, definitely. Thanks for preparing that for us today.
Absolutely. This has
Thank
got
you.
us through the afternoon.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
it has.
Most definitely.
Do they have any questions that we haven't answered?
Yeah, is there any questions you guys have by any chance? If you have any questions about this hotel, send them through. We'll definitely answer any questions you have. Mitzi and Ed will definitely answer the questions more than what I ever would.
The hotel is for sale to the right developer. We have not listed it with a realtor in hopes that we would be able to participate with whoever might be the developer to come into the hotel. We don't want it destroyed or taken down. We want to try and repurpose the hotel. It's in good physical shape. The demo that's gone on with the plaster and lath removal was estimated by one contractor that was in here to probably save the future developer $150,000 to $200,000 in cost to remove the 30 loads of plaster and lath that have been taken out of here to reconfigure the floor space. Originally, it was 86 rooms, and nobody was going to build another 86-room hotel. Small rooms that they were. So what we have right now is the bones of the hotel, the walls, and the structure that's in good shape. And we would just hope that in the course of time, our prayers are answered and that investor developer will come to town and realize that, yes, this place deserves to be rebuilt. So that's where we're at.
Yeah.
And it is with
Okay.
the society.
It's with the National Historic Preservation Society, and we're very optimistic about that happening.
Right. Yeah. Then the outside structure of this hotel is still the same structure.
Yes.
Nothing's ever been altered or redone or anything.
No,
That's amazing to me.
A new
It really
roof.
is. It does have a new roof. Okay.
Yeah.
New roof was about 10 years ago. They spent $52,000 and put a new roof,
Wow.
stripped down to the roof and redone, and it's a great roof. We've been fortunate to not have any serious hailstorms over the last decade, so that has helped. And got a great courtyard out beside us. We've got a nice garage storage building in the courtyard, so got a lot of things going. The great parking. We've got a huge lot to the north side of the hotel that would accommodate a couple dozen vehicles. We're right on First Street, so the long haul trucks could park and be able to come in and stay. We've had everything presented as extended stay bed and breakfast facilities to apartments.
Okay. Well, I had a question for my wife. She wanted you guys to elaborate more on President Eisenhower being here.
I gotta take a phone call.
Okay.
Quick. Excuse me.
Take it, sis.
Well, he was doing a road inspection observation from Washington, D.C. to Sacramento. And he had just come in from Germany, where he observed the roads there, and they were excellent. And he wanted to see if there was any way that the United States could compete with those roads and do something to help the public.
Okay.
So he brought the whole, an entire regiment of soldiers with him. And then his wife met up with him in
Ogallala.
Ogallala.
Yep.
And her husband, or her mother and father.
And a little like.
And a little like. And they came, and their first initial was to stay in Sydney at Fort Sydney
Okay.
with all of the soldiers and everything set up.
About what year would you say this was?
1919.
1919.
Year after it was built.
1919, a year after the hotel was built.
And the year after the war was over.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So he said, we're going to spend the night here. And she said, no, we're not. She said, I have heard stories, read things, been told that the greatest hotel ever built is in Kimball, Nebraska. And we're spending the night there. You can stay with the soldiers, but my father and mother and I are going there. He said, well, if you're going there, we'll go there.
Wow.
So they came here, and instead of the troops staying in Sydney, they came here and stayed at our fairgrounds, set up camp and everything. And they had the suite on the second floor on the south side. And they were here, for 2 days?
2 nights.
2 nights.
Mm.
And the second night, he brought all of his soldiers here, rented out the entire basement, fed them. It was a big dance. It was a big everything where they could just relax and enjoy. They estimate 300
Yeah, about 300 people that were partying down in the basement.
Wow. Wow.
for the entire evening. There was no curfews until they were ready to go back to their camp. And then after that, and the word was out that now he was just a general at that time. General Eisenhower had stayed here with his family. Then anybody that called in for a room wanted the Eisenhower Suite. So they actually named it the Eisenhower Suite. And it was booked out before any room in this hotel.
Wow. And people, would you say that's one of the big attractions to this place as well? Not only because it's been told it's haunted, but because of Eisenhower being here. Has that been a lot of the main attraction
The
too?
fact that it's on
Maybe
the
more
National
even than
Register.
the fact that this hotel's on. More of attraction that I mean, as famous as he was, yeah, I mean that's just amazing that they chose to be here.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Well, the historic bones of the hotel is what we embrace. Is the historic nature of what it's meant to Kimball through the years. It was a train depot the train stop for many years. The depot across the street, and the passengers from the train would stay here. And then as the train service slowed down and the bus service became the mode of transportation, we had 6 buses a day that would come through, and those passengers would trade buses, and this was the bus stop.
And bring freight.
Bring freight. So it was a very popular center of Kimball, and we'd like to get back to that someday, to have the hotel as a focal point of Kimball. We're only 2 miles from the interstate, right off Highway 71, which is the main thoroughfare north and south.
Right.
In 39, or I mean
And the Lincoln Highway, Highway 30. So we're very well located for
anything historic.
Yeah. If any of you guys are kind of wondering where Kimball is, Kimball, Nebraska here, if you guys are kind of familiar where Denver, Colorado is, if you go north and then hit Cheyenne, Wyoming, then you'd go east. So we're about 45 minutes. We're about 2.5 hours from Denver. What did you say, about 2.5 hours from Denver? And then we're about 45 to 50 minutes from Cheyenne, Wyoming. So if you guys are ever passing through, like I said, let me know, or get on the Wing Growers Hotel website, and definitely get in touch with these guys. So if you want to see this. Anyway, let's see here. So much great information about Kimball having this great hotel. Very interesting, my mom said. So, but yeah, it is. It's pretty interesting. The whole history of Kimball, there's a lot of history to Kimball. The more and more I'm here, I find out. So, but this is definitely probably the biggest history for Kimball. Wouldn't you say, this hotel? Or would you say there's anything else that I've missed that's...
We've been heralded as the oil capital of Nebraska.
Oh, yeah.
And the oil capital is that there were more oil wells in Kimball County. It was the largest producer of oil in the state of Nebraska. That was one of its legacies. We are the Missile Center USA. There are more intercontinental ballistic missiles, ICBMs, in Kimball County than any other county in the United States. Warren Air Force Base over in Cheyenne presides over the missile bases that are in the Kimball County. Northrop Grumman was awarded the primary contractor status for redoing the missile bases, and that's supposed to continue. They've been working on it now for about 2 years, and it's supposed to be a project that extends through this decade. And when it's all said and done, Sentinel, which is the operator for the new missile-based system, will be located in Kimball with a control center. That will operate that system and continue to provide the United States with a deterrent for aggressors that might want to take us on. That we have an intercontinental ballistic security system that will be second to none.
Wow.
So Kimball is definitely got a lot of legacy, a lot of history. We are one of the centers for Clean Harbors, which is the largest hazardous waste remediation company in North America. We're about $500 million of facility that's just south of Kimball. Your son works there.
Right.
Gage, he's a great operator of what he does. I've been there for 30 years.
I wish he could hear that right now.
Well,
I know
I have a lot
takes
of
a lot of
respect
pride
for
in his work
Gage.
out there.
He does take a lot of pride. His work ethic is second to none. And I see where he gets it from. His old man's not a bad guy. And
Thank you for that.
you bet.
I'm glad I could pass on some good traits to my kid.
Well, you did that because I knew Gage before I knew you.
Yeah, you did.
And now I've got your cap, so I'm part of the crew.
Yes, you are.
I'm part of the crew, man.
You're in. You're official.
All right. Okay.
Gosh. Well, I'm done with my cigar. That was a good cigar.
That was a
good cigar. And yes, Ed, I do have another one for you. That's why I wanted you to smoke that one today. I don't have it with me, but I'll get that to you.
I enjoyed that. I enjoyed your mom and your wife asking questions. I look forward to watching this again sometime down the road. It's been a real pleasure. You're a good guy.
Thank you. I appreciate
Enjoyed
it.
sharing the space with you, and when we get ready to go on a tour of the hotel, it's always fun to have a first timer go through the hotel and see the bones and see what this hotel is all about. You know, I think one of the things that made the wheat growers the special place that it was in 1918 during the Spanish influenza that was a whole lot worse than the pandemic we just went through, the COVID. It took 58 lives from the Kimball County back in the 1918 period, which was a lot of fatality from a pandemic. But they continued work on the hotel. They got the hotel built and operational, which was no small feat. The hotel had electricity, it had heat, and it had a 1918 version of air conditioning, which is kind of an engineering marvel. As we go through the hallways, we can see that. It was just spectacular. There's still inlaid tile of a wheat harvest and the name of the hotel out in front, and it's just something we're real proud of.
Yeah. Shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, this is something to be proud of. Absolutely. Absolutely. We'll probably go ahead and wrap this up. Is Mitzi coming back?
Yeah, she just had to go take care of some business right quick.
Okay. I got something I wanted to present to both of you, and if she's not going to be back immediately, I'll go ahead and present hers as well. We'll just let her have it when she gets here.
Okay.
Anyway, before I do that, I just wanted to tell everybody that we've got now 1,000 members of the Harper Cigar Lounge. Actually, a little more than 1,000. The last podcast I did last week, we had 990 members, and right now we've got 1,000 plus members. Just real quick, I'll do some shout outs of some of our new members. We got Isaac King, Mark Cigar, Mark J. Donald, Jay Ahmad, and I hope I'm pronouncing everyone's names right. Cigar Authority, Travis Den, Smoke Brothers from Arizona, Dustin Wrench. Let's see here. Authentic Cuban Cigar Shop, Bruno Gustavo, Hannah Walker, James Aaron, Stephen Fox, Steve Morgan, Orlando Michael, Justin Lowry, Leonard Ace Gillum, Giovanni Perez, and let's see here. Make sure I didn't miss anybody. Dustin Wrench, Mary Jane Rayner. So those are some of our new members. If I missed your name, let me know. I'll make sure I mention you on the next podcast. But
you missed my name.
Well, we're going to get to that.
I don't own a cell phone, but I'm going to get one. If I get a cell phone, it'll be so I can tune into your podcast.
Well, great. I hope you'll do that, Ed.
I'm going to do that.
But we do have what I mentioned. There's two members. Well, Kurtis Kiser is a member of our cigar lounge, and I wanted to make that official with him today. And then, of course, I've got two new honorary members of our Harper Cigar Lounge that I'll announce here in a moment. But Kurt, I wanted to present you with this certificate of appreciation for you being a part of this today. And you're now an honorary member of Harper Cigar Lounge.
Thank you very much.
And there's the certificate to prove that. I've signed it, and we got today's date on there. But I hope you'll hang that proudly.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. And is that Mitzi that
Yep,
pulled
that's
up?
Mitzi.
Get out of here.
Come have a seat.
Hi, sis. I'm glad you're here. Glad you're watching.
And me.
Welcome. If there's any questions I missed from you guys, when this is all over and I'm checking out all the questions, I'll make sure I get back to you guys. I'll answer any questions that I might have missed, but I'll make sure I get back to you guys on any questions that you have that, like I said, I missed. But anyway, there's 2 members I did mention that I'm making honorary today and making official. Right there, Missy, you're an honorary member. You're now a member of Harper Cigar Lounge.
Oh my God, this is fantastic.
So
Thank
anyway,
you.
Today's date's on there, and I signed it. So anyway, you are now a member of Harper Cigar Lounge.
Wow, I'll treasure this forever.
There's the last one. We're presenting this one to Ed Avila. Ed, you are now a member of Harper Cigar Lounge.
Thank
you guys are an honorary member of this cigar lounge, and you guys will always be a member of this, no matter what. So it's an honor to present that to you guys, all 3 of you. And Kurt, you joined a while back. What was the reason why you joined? Just because of me pressuring you, or
No.
no? I'm just kidding.
Oh, I like cigars. Always have. My first cigar was given me by a boss many years ago as a way to de-stress, and quite frankly, getting into it again and turn around and you getting into it, and having something to commonly bond stuff.
And we met at my place and had a cigar down in my lounge. And that was a great time, definitely.
Yes,
and brought us to a new level of friendship and
most definitely.
everything, I would say, which we got to do that again. And of course, you're welcome to my place anytime to have a cigar with me. We'll down in my lounge. It's cold outside, but we'll hang out downstairs sometime if you'd like, and down in my lounge and have a cigar in a warm area.
I'm going to wait till it's 60 degrees, Mr. Harper, and then I'm going to join you on your patio.
That would be great.
And we're going to have the first cigar you ever had.
That can't be
Swiss or Sweet.
Anyway, forgive Ed for bringing these. But I'll tell you what, I'm not going to hold this against you, because this is what I smoked for many, many years as I was growing up, as I was getting older.
Look at you. You're on top of things.
Me and my friends, we'd go camping, we'd get together for my birthday or someone's birthday, and we would smoke these,
Sure.
And but when I tapped into premium, the real premium cigars, of course, these went out the window. No, I actually, here a while back, I bought some different types of these just for kicks, for memory wise. But there was a time I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go back and try that again. And I'll tell you, after having the premium cigars I've had, and after this, the taste was I couldn't get the taste down anymore. I used to love these.
Wood tips.
I used to love them.
No, that's yours.
Oh, you're going to let me have these?
That's yours.
Oh, gosh, thank you.
Oh, yeah.
I'll
I
use
never have tried those.
You've never had Swisher
My
Sweets?
grandfather was always partial to backwoods, and whenever we'd go up to the cabin in Long Pine, Nebraska, we'd always have those backwoods up there, and that was kind of our little treat as I was old enough.
No, Sharon Mom doesn't know that.
But no, I have never tried those. So.
Well, no, I mean, of course, premium cigars will always be my number one.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, having one of these once in a while, it just brings back good memories. I mean, so many great memories with me and my buddies camping and hanging out on my birthday or, their birthday, whatever, smoking one of these together. That was my first getting initiated into having a cigar. I've never smoked cigarettes. I've never chewed. I've never done any of that. This was the only thing that I ever did. And I'll tell you what, this was the reason, this was the gateway. They say marijuana is the gateway to harder drugs, but this was the gateway to getting into premium cigars. My wife knows this evening, but I came home after a really long week of work. We got all the floral stuff in, all the greenhouse stuff in. We got all the Mother's Day flowers in. And of course, I was running produce at the time. And so it was pretty much kind of almost me, running all this. Well, then we had inventory on top of it. And that week was just really long and stressful. Anyway, so I came home after a long week of work, and I was going to be off the next day finally. And I told my wife I've got to go find a cigar somehow and have a glass of wine just to help myself wind down. And so I went up to Vince's Corner, just a couple blocks from where I live, and sure enough, they had Swisher Sweets. So I went in and got a pack of Swisher Sweets, got some can of Stella wine from my store, and had that with that cigar. And it was cold out that evening. I was outside smoking that day Swisher Sweet, having a can of Stella wine, freezing my ass off. And but you know what? But after that was over, I felt so good again, calmed down. And it wasn't much longer that Father's Day came around. And I woke up, and there was two premium cigars. It was a Camacho and a New World cigar. My wife and my son picked those up for me, and they were on the island in the kitchen when I got up. And they had a cutter and a lighter as well. And so that was really the start of me tapping into the premium stuff. But that was on my own. But this was after I told you guys that I met with the guys in Dallas. That was the first my experience, my premium cigar, the first one. But I had to have. That's what got me into wanting to have a cigar again. Was that trip to Dallas? Of course, at the time in Kimball, there was nowhere you could buy premium cigars.
I always had to go to Cheyenne.
Yeah. Yeah, so
those came from Vince's.
Did they? Well, these were the ones that I bought. Now I carry these at my store, right?
I was
So,
just going to say,
I do carry these at my store. So
I knew that there was a connection to those.
Yes, I do. Yes, at my store I do carry premium cigars, and my wife and my son was going to Scotts Bluff They went to Scotts Bluff to our corporate office, or where our big corporate offices are, and our big grocery store there. That's where they got those cigars for me. I was like, well, now that I'm wanting these cigars more, that's when I decided to bring them into my store. For selfish reasons in the beginning, I'll be honest. I thought, if I want a premium cigar, I want to have one close to where I can buy one. So I was like, having them in my store, why not? So brought them in, and of course they're doing very well. We got a lot of guys that buy them, and Kurtis has been buying them. Of course, I buy them regularly, and we've got other guys in town that are buying them. So it's done very well. So we've provided a service for Kimball, with premium cigars, and it's doing very well. So, but this was the start of it in the very beginning, and everything. So, but anyway, guys, I hope you've had a good cigar with us today. I hope you've had something to drink with us today. Hope you guys have had a great time. And again, thank you guys for this today.
Thank you.
And congratulations on being a member of Harper's Cigar Lounge.
Thank you. Best day ever.
Best day
if you guys ever think about it, maybe take that out. Maybe you guys could tape that band onto the inside of that somehow, or something, But this sure was a treat today, guys, and thank you for all of you guys that have joined us. And yes, sure, we are cold.
It's definitely not warm, that's for sure.
No.
Sure, I will get you a certificate. Yes, I will. And let's see here. What does it say? Toking it up? No, we're not toking it up. I make that joke with my son Gage a lot about, hey, let's go toke it up in the basement. Yeah, I guess we're toking it up, but with good cigars, good stuff, the good stuff. Anyway, yeah, sure. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, sure. Thanks for joining. I love you. I'm glad you're here with us, and I'm glad. I appreciate all of you for being with us today. I really am. You guys have been great today.
Everybody out there, one thing we asked, Sis and I, if you're going to cheer for a football game today,
Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, here.
Chief.
Let me show you.
Right there.
Right here. See that?
No, the Chiefs are okay.
Kansas City all the way.
Mahomes and Kelsey.
I will hold it against you.
But I do like Dallas.
Well, thank you.
And if I may, my cousin Dietrich, he watches from Germany. Dietrich, if you see this, ich liebe dich. I miss you, cousin. I'll see you at Christmas. Talk to you later.
Awesome.
Arrivederci.
But yeah, like I said, guys, yeah, my sister said Dallas, quotation. Coming from an Eagles fan. Yeah, so anyway. Yeah, I don't know, maybe Cheryl will turn over to Dallas fan here pretty soon. So we'll see about that, I guess. Anyway, Cheryl, are you going to be a Dallas fan now, or are you Eagles fan still? What's going on? What's with the Dallas comment? I'm not sure how to take that.
Uh-oh.
Yes, Eagles, she said. No, we're not going to talk about the Eagles during this podcast. Anyway, anyway, guys, thanks for hanging out and freezing with us today. You're probably not, actually. You're probably staying pretty warm wherever you're at. In case I didn't show the shirt very well, I was presented this shirt from Ed Mitsie with the Wheat Growers Hotel. And Mom, yes, I will send you a picture of the Wheat Growers Hotel, the front of it. But if you go into my YouTube channel and look at the advertisement I did last week for this podcast, you'll see the Wheat Growers Hotel right behind me. Sure says I'm for them when they're not playing. Okay, whatever. Anyway, but yeah, this was a wonderful gift from these guys, and again, thank you for that, Ed and Mitzi. I really appreciate this a lot. I can't wait to wear that.
Oh, thank you for making us a member.
Absolutely. Yep, and you guys are members for life, like I said. So,
All right.
I don't see this going away anytime soon. So, anyway, we're gonna sign off, guys. Thank you for joining.
This
God
was
bless
my
you guys.
first podcast.
Keep rocking, keep smoking, guys. And yeah, I'm hoping we'll have some more live podcasts from this place in the future, maybe. And we're gonna keep trying to do some more live podcasts for you guys. But anyway, bye, guys. Love all of
And
you.
if you're ever in our neighborhood, we would love to give you a real tour.
Yeah, definitely. I know these guys are so passionate about this place. It's unbelievable how much passion they got into this place and how much work they've done to this place. Yeah, they're wonderful people, and it's been an honor getting to know you guys. And Ed, like I said, I've gotten to know you for 6 years now, and Betsy, you're a new friend of mine, and
Absolutely.
and Ed, getting to know you over the 6 years, and then finally getting to do this with you and hang out today. I've had such a great time today.
Well, thank you, and I appreciate meeting
Yeah,
Kurtis.
and Curtis, I'm so glad you're in my
I'm
life,
glad
and
you
you're with
too,
me at the store
Curtis.
still. And for you, I'm glad you're here today too. Really am.
Amen.
So, but anyway, we're gonna sign off, guys. Hang around though. We will go ahead and do a separate live feed for the hotel. We're gonna do a tour, and we'll go ahead and do that for you. So give us about, what would you say? How long do we need to give them before we start that up?
About 5 minutes.
Give us about 5 minutes or so, guys, and we'll do a tour, and we'll do a separate live feed for the tour. So anyway, signing off from here at Harper Cigar Lounge. All of you Harper Cigar Lounge family members all around the world. There's 1,000 of you guys out there, and I hope you guys have all been able to tune in today and watch this and enjoy yourselves today. So thank you for joining us. And like I said, if I missed any questions, I will definitely get back to you guys on any questions I missed. And it says Dallas beat the Rams today, 43-20.
Wow.
So anyway, go Cowboys.
Go Cowboys.
Anyway, so God bless you guys, and thank you for being a part of this. Troy Harper from Harper Cigar Lounge. Again, thank you for being a part of all this. We'll talk to you guys soon. We'll see you soon in the comments, and I'll see you guys again next week. So bye-bye now.